We're very pleased to recognize Access Holdings as our 2024 Private Equity Innovator of the Year. Access Holdings takes a comprehensive, forward-looking approach to private equity, managing the business of private equity like a business, engaging in due diligence with the objective of informing value creation, and proactively partnering with their portfolio companies to create unique levels of value with speed and certainty. They also strongly embrace the principles of corporate citizenship, knowing that being good for the world and good for investor returns are one and the same. We visited Access Holdings at their Baltimore headquarters and sat down with their founder and managing partner, Kevin McAllister, partner Steve Chang, and managing director, Nick Kapalan, to discuss their innovative approach to private equity. Here's more of the story from the Access Holdings team. Can you share a little bit about the background of Access Holdings and how and why you came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in the private equity space since the late 90s. Before that, I was a strategy consultant and had an opportunity to work at a lot of wonderful organizations and observed a lot of things I really liked about the strategies and things that I thought were opportunities. And so one of the observations I made was that I didn't want to buy businesses that were for sale anymore. I wanted to buy businesses that I wanted to own. And the basis of that was the opportunity to choose an industry proactively and to choose a business model within that industry proactively.
We focus exclusively on essential service type businesses, business models that we find have very attractive qualities that we can both bring our partnering capabilities and tools and help grow with great impact.
We have a very research-driven approach. We'll often investigate industries for 12, 18 months or longer before investing $1 of capital. And we also have very prescriptive in-house proprietary value creation capabilities that we deploy.
Kevin, one of the things that jumps right out when we visit your organization here are the excellence of your people, top to bottom, wall to wall. But speaking of wall to wall, your facilities here and your Access Accelerator are amazing. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you. We are really privileged to have the team that we have. So one of the things that I guess I'm a visual person, a physical person, as are Steve and Nick. We said, we need to have a place where we consciously focus daily, where value creation lives, where capabilities live. So you'll hear us talk a lot about lifting and shifting capabilities and being able to not just talk about something, but be able to demonstrate it. So we created the Access Acceleration Center. So we have a library. I think we might have been one of the last people on the planet to build out a physical library with books in it. But it really for us is a manifestation that we want to constantly be learning and leaning in and understanding markets and business models and where people have been successful and where people have been challenged. Because we get to where we want to be with persistence and precision, we understand market, we understand business model strategy, self-evident. Then it's all about, with our partner, enabling that journey to that destination we've all agreed on. And I think this physical manifestation allows us to give people the opportunity to say, hey, I believe that you can get us there. It's been more successful, I think, than we anticipated.
So, Kevin, I really liked how you described your space as a physical manifestation of your firm, and it's very evident when you walk in. It's modern yet warm. It's technology pervasive, and yet there's a physical representation of a library. And so you're blending a lot of the things that got us all to where we are, but you're also clearly looking forward into the future. And I think it's an excellent example of how Access Holdings is innovating and leading the way in the private equity industry. Can you talk a little bit about how you all use your approach to diligence to pre-inform what a company could or should be? And then once you've reached a meeting of the minds, you talk with the entrepreneurs and you say, here's how we're going to partner together to transform this company into its best self.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we've spent a lot of time thinking about and learning from 20 plus years of doing this. And I think one of the things that we found is there's a part of diligence that's really just rote and about learning and confirming and making sure that what we think a business is what it is, and understanding kind of more deeply how it operates and things like that. But I think one of the exciting things for our approach is we also think about, and we call that confirmatory diligence, but we also think about futures. And that's really the value and beneficial part of being in a proprietary dialogue where you can get to know a founder and a team, what motivates and drives them, how they've built the business to date, and then more importantly, really start imagining what could we do together.
The best way to approach something is to sit down with somebody who's prospectively already in the industry with your own emerging point of view. So we spent a lot of time here and have built a lot of capabilities around the ability to do research. And so our firm is engineered to do the work, develop a point of view, share that point of view. And then in the course of that, we'll have oftentimes folks come to us and say, do you want to buy my business? And we'll say, we don't know.
One of the fundamental beliefs that we have here is that if you study market trends and customer behavior and value chain structure and competitive dynamics with the fidelity and granularity that we aim to, then the winning thesis becomes clear, the winning strategy becomes clear. And that's really the focus of our research process. And it takes a lot of time and energy and resources up front in order to do that. But we believe that by the time we're ready to partner, we have a very strong perspective on the type of business we want to build, our target profile and exit. A really strong perspective on the type of business we want to partner with as an entry point, and a winning strategic plan, a destination plan that gets us from point A to point B.
I think what you're talking about is the future of private equity. It's this idea that you are going to be better at fewer things. You're going to know those fewer things exceptionally well. By the time you have the opportunity to meet with a company, you already have an idea about what that company could or should be in terms of its version of its best self. Yeah. So I think what you're articulating here is really important in terms of where the industry is going and where you all already are. Tell us about your approach to value creation.
There's probably 4 or 5 key philosophies that really underpin how we think about value creation. Really, the first one is fundamentally about market and business model selection. And that's one of the first philosophies that we have embraced with data and thinking about get the market, get the model right. It gives you more flexibility and optionality. It also reduces risk. So we consider that part of our primary value creation thinking. I think the second thing that's really important to us is fundamentally, it's all about partnership and alignment once we've confirmed market model. And we have developed a proprietary process. We call it destination planning, but it's really a methodology that we can engage with a founder and a management team from the very early days of a dialogue all the way through the underwriting into the post-investment. And the fundamental premise is we spend time talking about aspirations and what we can build together, because we, at the end of the day, want to be able to hold ourselves accountable for making progress against those plans that we've created. The third thing is really about bringing something to a partnership. In our value creation approach, we fundamentally believe that as a good partner, we have to bring something of value to that founder, owner, and that company. And we've chosen to do that through proven technologies and capabilities, playbooks, functional resources, and experts, for example, in capital markets. We want to bring them things that they don't naturally have access to. And I think the fourth thing I'd say, just philosophically, is integration means a lot to us in our firm. We have integrated our investment team and our value creation team fully from the beginning of a thesis all the way through an exit. And so, for example, we've created simple structures like a deal pod. Whenever we have a thesis that's far enough along that we think is interesting, our value creation team and our investment team will become one, and they'll have a regular cadence of how they meet and prosecute the work.
We see an opportunity to build something in an industry, to create a market leader. And in order to do that, we're going to need these capabilities. And we bring them here to Access into the Access Acceleration Center. And we share with them our business building model. Our mantra is always, let's build something that's enduring. And in order to do that, you have to be scaling a business, and you have to be innovating a business, and you have to be a good partner. And that's all about the vision and alignment.
In the modern era of private equity, it's, I think, clear that you need a multifaceted, comprehensive approach. And I think this is one of the areas where you truly distinguish yourself in private equity and are providing leadership in the industry. Steve, another area where Access Holdings truly distinguishes itself is in your understanding that doing well in business and doing well for the world can and are one and the same. Can you talk about your approach to corporate citizenship?
Sure, maybe just give a little context. I think when we established the firm, and what we do pretty much every year in our strategy work, is we kind of step back and reflect on, like, what do we want to be and what impact do we want to have? And I think it naturally led us early on from moving from a discussion about a corporate mission to a real purpose. And purpose is a little bit more. It has inspiration to it. We can deliver great returns and do exactly what we need to do as a financial investment firm, but we can be something more. And when we really talked about purpose, we landed on this notion of building enduring businesses, because we felt that was really what we do. And we felt like, when you think about if you build an enduring business, it creates tremendous value for our investors, for the employees and management teams in those companies, for other stakeholders supporting it, and frankly, for the communities that we serve. That's super important for us. I think the second thing is you really need to listen to and understand your stakeholders on a recurring basis. And we obviously were involved, and we heard, for example, all the conversation about ESG. We went out and in our typical Access way, we studied a lot. We looked externally. We talked to the head of the UNPRI. We looked at, I don't know how many different ESG frameworks. And we said, let's do our own. Let's build our own framework and let's do a crawl, walk, run. So we built a framework. We went out probably 3 years ago, got all of our leadership teams engaged in a process and ownership for what we call core impact metrics. And those could be anything around the E, the S, or the G. There's a whole bunch of things, but we wanted our companies to own it. And we gave it very simple process and direction to start here, pick your 3 and get started. And then each year we go back and we keep advancing and adding more and putting more data and reporting against that.
Thanks. That's another great example of your integrated, comprehensive, innovative approach to private equity.
Thank you.
On behalf of BluWave, thank you to Access Holdings for serving as a catalyst for our economy and setting a prime example for others in support of the growth and development of the private equity industry. Congratulations for being recognized as the 2024 Private Equity Innovator of the Year.